All right. Welcome to the finale, quote unquote, of the Showa era.
Woo! And it's Mechagodzilla again. Woo!
The Terror of Mechagodzilla, another movie I mistook for a better movie.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I was hoping it was it against Mechagodzilla?
Yeah.
Or Tokyo SOS. Instead, it included Titanosaurus.
Everybody loves Titanosaurus.
That's why he's only in this movie.
He might be B-roll in Final Wars.
Never saw him. Wait. Okay, if I did, I forgot.
Well, yeah, the only Titanosaurus. Nobody cares about him.
No one cares about Titanosaurus, and the only thing I cared about in Final Wars was the people. But anyway, because everything about the people was incredible.
Yeah, no, it was surprisingly good.
Yeah. Well, it was directed by a guy who did really good action choreography. But anyway, we're here to talk about Mechagodzilla again, who blew up. And I'm remembering Godzilla just fucking.
I'm out.
It's this. I can't remember if I explained it in the last film, but I think there was a different film that reminded me of it, but again, it's the fucking Drakengard 2 part where the quote-unquote main villain stabs the hourglass thing and just goes...
It might have been the last video. I'm remembering it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it was... You said it to them.
Yeah, no. It's just got that same energy of just like... But anyway, yeah, so... all I know is that Mechagodzilla's back.
They rebuilt him better and stronger. The $6 million Mechagodzilla.
Oh, he's worth way more than that. He's made out of space titanium. But I do know this centers around another scientist who makes...
It's the same scientist.
Probably not.
No, it is. This is the same scientist.
But he makes a sonic emitter that can control sea monsters.
Yeah. And this is the same one who read the script in the last movie.
It is not Serizawa.
It is.
I don't believe you.
Well, you're going to be wrong.
Okay, well, whatever. I honestly can't believe I didn't recognize him.
Okay. Well, we don't have the book this time, so we can't tell how long this is.
Yeah, well, no, but I saw it. It's almost an hour and a half.
Oh.
Just a couple minutes shy.
Par for the course.
Yep. So we'll see you guys later. So we're back from the terror of KFC.
Yes.
As Colonel Sanders was the villain. Mm-hmm. And he sought to destroy the world that did not appreciate his 11 herbs and spices. Reconstructed Mechagodzilla with the powers of KFC and his spork missiles, gravy breath, Mountain Dew laser eyes, and powered by a rotisserie chicken.
Mountain Dew sweet lightning from his chest cavity.
Well, I thought it would make more sense to have the Mountain Dew be the laser eyes. I mean, as much as I wanted it to be the gravy...
It was literally sweet lightning. It was the lightning beam.
Oh, yeah, I know. You're totally right. That should totally be what it was. But he never used the chest laser.
He used it in the B-roll shots.
Yeah, but...
With the knee cannons that he just shouldn't have had.
Yeah, no, that was fucking weird. Yeah, so... this movie had several possible running gags, but we finally settled on the one that mattered the most, because our main villain, played by our good friend Serizawa, had manifested into the Japanese Colonel Sanders. Not to be confused with the Colonel Sanders from Godzilla Raids Again, because he didn't do much of anything.
Wait, what? There was a Colonel Sanders in Raids Again?
Yeah, there was a guy with like all white and he had the goatee and whatnot. White hair, goatee.
I don't remember this from Raids Again.
Oh, I remember it. It was fucking weird. But yeah, so the aliens teamed up with Colonel Sanders.
Because they made fun of Colonel Sanders 15 years ago. They told him that you couldn't make the ultimate recipe with 11 herbs and spices.
They told him that dinosaurs do not count as birds for the sake of making even better chicken. Because this was clearly his plan, was to use Titanosaurus to make the ultimate chicken. Yeah, so... Holy shit. This movie started out horribly. We watched the dub, which clearly had added scenes. There was no way the original movie had almost 10 minutes of Godzilla B-roll reintroducing us to the character of Godzilla.
Yeah, it was great. It really was 10 minutes.
It was so bad. Because it started with that, and then it went on for like 9 whole minutes, and then the opening credits started.
Yeah, the opening credits were not great.
No, every freeze frame was terrible. The Mechagodzilla company showed up and like squished Mechagodzilla, and his head was out of frame.
I forgot about that.
It was great.
I forgot about the Mechagodzilla company.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, so it opens with a lady in an emerald dress standing next to the ocean as a this movie is actually a direct sequel to versus Mechagodzilla, which is interesting. And there's a sub looking for the missing pieces of Mechagodzilla.
Specifically the head.
Well, either way, they were just trying to recover Mechagodzilla, and then the lady sees Titanosaurus, and Titanosaurus comes in, cackling like a chicken, whips up a whirlpool, tries to do a flying press, but instead bites the submarine. And then magically has it in his hands.
And drags it down.
And then it just explodes. From his chickeny aura, I don't know.
His girth.
And then he continues to cackle. And it's fucking great.
It really is.
And then we cut back to... I thought it was like the ocean... exploitation... whatever
committee or something like
that. But half of it was Interpol and like, oh god. And so they're like, yeah, this old man, this Sarazawa somehow survived. I guess he took on a different name, even though, and took off his eye patch, so no one recognized him, and started babbling on about controlling animals. And like, yeah, there's this giant dinosaur, and he was looking at mice. It was very weird. And then he was like, I'm gonna make the ultimate chicken. And everyone's like, you're fucking crazy.
And then they tackled him to the ground.
For some reason.
And then they told him to leave.
And then he started getting like a 5 o'clock shadow, and then and then we cut to a UFO that looks like none of the UFOs in the entire movie. It was so fucking weird. There were so many weird cuts. And it's aliens talking, and they're like, we have a man who will help us. And they start talking up Colonel Sanders. And then...
Well, it's because they had young Colonel Sanders on their side. Or dark Colonel Sanders.
Yes. Young, dark Colonel Sanders. Clearly, these men had teamed up with KFC. They were going to level Tokyo to create the ultimate Kentucky Fried Chicken. A city-sized KFC where all your needs could be met. For biscuits, for famous bowls, your bucket of chicken, everything you could possibly want. All the sporks you could ever possibly use. There'd probably be a spork factory in there or something. Anyway, and so it halfway cuts in with the Interpol guys talking with some scientist who's like, yeah, we knew about this crazy guy. Because it halfway explained him after the meeting with the alien people, and then it cut to the Interpol guys, and they end up trying to find him. While they go to talk to some weird fisherman with the loudest seagulls you have ever heard.
They were very loud.
Oh my lord.
They were basically sitting on the cameraman's shoulder, squawking into the camera.
Pretty much, but we couldn't see them anywhere close. They were all in the distance, but god, they were freaking loud. And then, after the fisherman explains, screaming over the screeching of the seagulls, they go to this old manor. And then there's these crows that are just the loudest. They're just as loud as the seagulls. And at this point, we're convinced that Titanosaurus is just around.
He's off screen over a mountain, just cackling.
Because that's basically the noises he was making. And then, and then they meet this robotic lady.
We don't know she's a robot.
We don't know she's a robot, but she's acting very robotic.
But she's wearing a banana peel in her hair.
Yes, it will eventually be her downfall. And she's like, my dad's dead. We're like,
Colonel Sanders is dead.
Cool.
5 years.
Awesome.
Do you have any of his books? No, I burned them all.
All the recipe. We had to protect the 11 herbs and spices.
The secret recipe dies with him.
Indeed. No one can replicate it. So, and then they leave. And then we get Colonel Sanders talking with the leader of the aliens, drinking very red wine.
Was that Colonel Sanders? I thought that was the other guy.
No. It was old Colonel Sanders talking because they leave and they're like, I guess he's not there, and then they cut to old Colonel Sanders talking with the alien guy to be like, no, he's still alive, and he cackles very similarly to Titanosaurus, which we got a kick out of. But anyway, and then the Interpol guy finds notebooks that weren't burned because they were kept in the library of the institute that he used to be a part of, and he's like, oh, I found them and I read them, so I know what he's done, and I believe him. I believe that I believe in his
I believe he's not crazy.
I believe in his incredible recipe for the ultimate chicken. And she gets like moved by this and tries to like talk to him. And Colonel Sanders is like,
and then
no.
There's an old man in a car.
Oh yeah, we keep cutting to an old man in a car and he's just looking at stuff. He's great.
It just happens like 4 times.
Oh,
and one of them is literally like a single frame.
Oh yeah, no, just like his eyes moves a little bit and he immediately cuts back. It's incredible. So but she comes back and like Colonel Sanders is like telling her, it's like, no, humanity's abandoned us. We can only trust in the aliens. They will provide for our ultimate restaurant. We will turn Tokyo into KFC land. And then and then what's her face gets like all worried, and they're like, she's gonna betray us, isn't she? And then Interpol guy's like, I'm gonna be on the submarine to hunt for Titanosaurus. He's like, no, don't do it.
And then he did it.
He did do it, which was crazy, but not before they revoked her banana rights.
Yeah,
because she betrayed them, and they reprogrammed her to be even more evil.
She was programmed by evil or hatred and vengeance, and the thought of revenge.
And they also happened to install the KFC link for Mechagodzilla as they were repairing Mechagodzilla and introducing they fucking like just
yeah, they installed Mechagodzilla's brain in her
as like a weird link, but she could control both of them, Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla. It was very weird. But didn't seem to be able to do both at the same time.
At least not, like, competently.
Yeah.
I think the most we got was Titanosaurus charging while Mechagodzilla fired a laser.
Yeah.
Fired some gravy.
Oh, yeah. That spicy gravy that blows up buildings. Although we're not there yet, technically.
Yeah.
We're almost there. So... what happens after that? They reprogram her, and he's like, you only believe in one thing. What is the emotion that drives you? And then she names off like 3.
Yeah.
Because we can't be consistent. And then fucking I'm starting to burn out.
Yeah, I don't remember all that happens. I feel like Titanosaurus shows up in town. No, they're still underwater in the sub, and Titanosaurus is attacking the sub again.
Yeah.
And they do a thing, and then they're like, "Oh, it's radio waves."
They flip on all the switches, and they're like, "Oh, the really loud sonar messes with them. That's crazy. Let's build a sonar weapon to defeat Titanosaurus." And then what's her face becomes Red Riding Hood and starts chatting with Interpol guy who's clearly developed a crush for her, and it's like, man, stop thinking with your dick. This isn't gonna go anywhere. But she ends up sabotaging the sonar thing as Titanosaurus comes ashore.
Yeah.
Who is absolutely massive. Like, the perspective is fucked. He like exists over the horizon, thousands of miles tall, as he approaches the city of Tokyo.
Yes.
And like all the missiles, all the tanks, they just, I mean, they're hitting him. They're not doing a damn thing. And then some of the Interpol guys figure out, they're like, it's the lady. And the lady and the old man are there, and they literally vanish.
They blip out of existence.
Twice. No, it's the lady that does it the second time, where she like ducks, but it's like way too fast. Like, they have super speed. I don't get it. The old man might also be a robot. I don't know. It's never established.
Now, is this before or after Godzilla finally gets some screen time?
They vanish off screen, and it's the airplanes that show up next, and we get to watch Titanosaurus just leap completely vertically. Like, he's moving horizontally, but he's completely vertical, and just like
lands daintily on a plane.
Just vertically, like, slams into the planes. Like, there's no beams, even though I swear to God, the poster for this movie has Titanosaurus shooting beams. He doesn't have them. At all.
Yeah, I don't think he does. They gave him a wind attack in the games.
Yeah. So, Titanosaurus is so fucking lame. And then Godzilla finally shows up, I think?
Yeah, at like the 54-minute mark.
Oh, Lord, it was bad. And he's like, get out of here, you giant ancient chicken.
They didn't even put him on this poster.
That's a weird poster. Do you have the Japanese one?
I can find it.
Because that's the one I'm thinking of where it's illustrated.
There's this one.
Yes. Oh, no, he doesn't have a beam.
Oh,
I mistook. I mistook Mechagodzilla's beam for Titanosaurus shooting a beam.
Anyway, yeah, so 54 minutes into the movie, we finally get Godzilla. Who's not B-roll.
Yeah, no, and it's actually a good suit. Like, which is sad, because this is the last of the Heisei... Not the Heisei. Fuck. The last of the Showa era. And he just, like... I don't even remember the fight.
Titanosaurus gets confused, turns around, and I think Godzilla beams him, and then that was it.
Yeah, because I think, because they shot the lady. And then Colonel Sanders is like, no, run away.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then they and that's the point where they repair her and they insert the KFC link to connect with Mechagodzilla, who just should be made of KFC buckets. It fit him. That's the joke that was like the $1 million daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
But without any of the powers of the $5 million man or whatever.
So then we just go back to more like we're fixing Mechagodzilla still.
Yeah, and then that they're just about complete. And shit. Like, I'm losing so much of this movie.
Well, we're in the final stretch. There's only like 20 minutes left of this movie.
Mm-hmm. And we're like, this is better wrap up, because Lord knows. And then Mechagodzilla gets launched, and the Interpol people find where Mechagodzilla got launched, which I thought was literally adjacent to the base, but apparently wasn't, because they blow up where Mechagodzilla came from. Somehow.
Well, you know, they just...
They rescue some people, and then they blow it up, and it's so confusing. But anyway, and Mechagodzilla is here. He's here to dispense all the KFC, and man, the destruction is off the charts. Like, the power level for this movie has been kicked up. Everything about the fighting in this last, 15 minutes is just on another level.
Yeah, no, Godzilla gets punted over a mountain.
Oh yeah, and sinks into the earth. The fucking missiles upheave the street. And his fucking gravy beam just levels, blows up every building. Every building was filled with TNT.
It was just chain explosions.
It was incredible. And then fucking Titanosaurus blows away all the debris to spread the herbs and spices around. And then, and Godzilla shows up, and he kind of gets bodied pretty hard until the humans become the buddy for Godzilla, and they mess up Titanosaurus so that he can focus on Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, because Titanosaurus is now just bobbing around like an idiot.
I can't handle it.
Still cackling, though.
Oh, wait, we forgot. They bury him. They bury Godzilla.
Yeah, he gets punted a second time. Then he lands in a hole, and Mechagodzilla's just like, missiles. Sporks.
All the sporks. The explosive sporks. They'll bury him.
We will dig up the dirt.
And Titanosaurus is just like, yeah, he's down there. I'm just gonna stomp all over him. And he, puts his hands behind his back, and he's fucking, tap dancing on his grave.
He's doing a merry jig.
It's really dumb. And that's when they mess up Titanosaurus, and then Godzilla pops out, and his tail waving all over the place. Fucking beams Mechagodzilla, and then proceeds to once again rip his head off.
Ah, but this time there's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need his head.
He has the KFC brain, and it starts firing lasers at him, which looks like it goes straight through him. It was devastating.
It was very powerful.
But we also forgot that he fucking lifted Titanosaurus above his head.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he's done to other monsters, so that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but Titanosaurus was probably the strongest of all the other monsters.
He's taller than Godzilla.
He sent Godzilla over the horizon with a single kick.
It was really, twice. It was amazing. So he rips off the head, and then during this time, Interpol guy who's in love with Robot Lady gets captured. And they tie him up and put him next to a bunch of sharp rocks. But not before where it's like, no, what's your name, Lady Robot, even though he doesn't know that yet. You're a good person. He's like, shut up.
I love you. Don't come any closer.
Shut up. I love the shut up you. It's so great. And then he cuts his bindings, and then they fly off like bungee cords. He strangles young Colonel Sanders, and then he's like, you won't do it. You won't shoot me.
And then she gets shot by the second Interpol man.
Yes, which resets her for some reason.
Yeah, he
shot her in the arm.
Yeah, that's where the brain is. That's in the right arm.
Yeah, totally.
In the bicep.
Yeah, no, it's... Anyway, and then in all the fighting, the leader of the aliens basically uses Colonel Sanders as a meat shield. Ironic. Or fitting, depending on how you view it. And then Colonel Sanders gets shot.
Yeah, because the Interpol guy didn't care. He's just like, whatever, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, no, just shoot him in the chest, kill him, KFC can die, it's fine. And then Colonel Sanders is like, my chicken will live on. and then Robot Lady's like, oh, the KFC bucket link is inside my stomach. And she takes a gun, and he's like, no, I know you're a robot, but I love you. And she's like, we can't be together because I'm a robot, and I control Mechagodzilla. And so she shoots herself in the stomach and dies.
Shutting Mechagodzilla down in the process.
Yep, and then Godzilla kicks him in a hole, or throws him in a hole, I don't remember which.
I think he threw him, I don't remember.
And then beams it, and it fucking explodes. It's great. And now it's time to deal with Titanosaurus, but not before Interpol has to deal with the king of the aliens, who's like, foolish humans, you'll never catch me, and then he dives into the ocean to become another Titanosaurus. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Because he jumps into the water.
Yeah, and then like don't their spaceships come out of the water?
Yeah, no, for some reason these manta ray looking spaceships, which do not match the spaceship that we saw from the beginning, or from the B-roll, but of course it didn't match the B-roll, because that was from Astro Monster. They fly up, and Godzilla, while grappling with Titanosaurus, is like, no, fuck your shit, and just blows them all up. So the aliens are dead. I think.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, this is the end of the... I keep calling it the Heisei era. This is the end of the Showa era, so... Fuck it. And then, just, like, completely bodies Titanosaurus. Fucking beams him, and he just goes stiff as a board, falls backwards into the ocean, and then blows up.
And he was never seen from again.
Yeah. Fucking great.
And then Godzilla was in sepia tone gravy.
Yeah, just wading into the gravy ocean because it was filled with Titanosaurus, the ultimate chicken monster. And just goes, yep, I'm off. And they're like, yeah, and all the humans are celebrating after they defeat Mechagodzilla and Titanosaurus.
And then it goes bend.
Yep. And that was the movie. It was... I will admit, I think part of the reason it was hard to follow was because we didn't have subtitles.
Yeah.
Which...
I don't know if the subtitles would have helped, honestly.
It would have helped me remember more of what happened.
Fair enough.
But anyway...
Because it probably would have helped me remember, too, because I apparently don't remember anything from this movie.
It was...
I just remember KFC coming in about halfway, and then just that being the one joke.
We talked over so much of that movie with just KFC jokes. It was great. It was the highlight of the movie. But anyway, it's time to rate this. Monster Combat, we have to give this a decent number because holy crap, the fighting was just...
Yeah, no, it was probably... I don't know if I want to call it the best fighting we've seen in the Showa era, it was one of the best.
It was the most powerful fighting we had seen. The sheer, like, even Ghidorah wasn't as effective at leveling buildings as Mechagodzilla was.
Mechagodzilla fucking tore down a city.
It was incredible. Nobody's been that effective. And then Titanosaurus just went like whirlwind and just blew it all away and like flattened all of it. Like, just like the earth couldn't handle the power of these monsters. Let alone like the monsters themselves. So, what's even the best we've even given? There's an 8 for versus Megalon. And then... Yeah, like... 7 was King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, it was definitely better than that.
I mean, if you want to give it an 8, if you think it's equivalent to Jet Jaguar... Or, it's like just call it Jet Jaguar.
I mean, it might as well be the Jet Jaguar movie.
Yeah. I mean, if you think it's equivalent to Jet Jaguar...
I certainly think it was better than Kong.
That's fair.
At the very least.
And I think it was just as good as the Jet Jaguar combat for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
So I think an 8 is fair.
Yeah, 8's good.
The visual effects, I don't feel like it looked crisper, but I think that was just improved film and not a reflection of like the visual effects being better.
Yeah, I don't think any like none of the attacks really looked better, and then I don't think they had too many new ones for Mechagodzilla since they showed a whole bunch of B-roll of him just blowing up Godzilla.
Good lord, that was god-awful. I don't know, I feel like that just leaves it at a 5, because we saw no real improvement. Plot. I will admit, this plot was better than the last movie.
Yeah.
It was simpler. It wasn't as campy, which is very odd considering how much of the Showa era is just like goofy as shit.
Yeah, it definitely felt a bit more like, hey, okay, we were joking around in the last few movies, but this time we want you to take us seriously.
Yeah.
Here's Mechagodzilla leveling a city.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, so despite our complete like ruining of the plot of this movie by introducing Colonel Sanders and fucking Bruce Lee, who lasted like no time, which was very sad. He did a cool flip.
I was gonna say he pulled off a flip and then he was dead.
Yep, no, just fucking couldn't take the lasers. But yeah, so let's see. The plot for versus Mechagodzilla was a 4. It was not a 10.
No,
I'll say that much.
No, the gist of this was just, hey, let's get Mechagodzilla back, and we will kill the crap out of Godzilla.
Yep.
And we also have Titanosaurus somehow.
Yep. No, we got the crazy scientist who does the monster controlling, and then we turned his daughter into a machine to control monsters.
Yeah, he accidentally killed her with like electric or something.
Like there was a short circuit and it just zapped her to death. And then they came in Baker's outfits.
The Baker's Guild.
The Baker's Guild came in and were like, "We'll fix her.
We will install the 11 herbs and spices."
No, they were like, "Sorry, we were in the middle of making biscuits."
I don't know. I feel like the plot of this one's probably like a 6.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like amazing. It was just aliens want to take over the Earth because their homeworld is being sucked up by a black hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're gonna use the same tools that the last breed of aliens used.
Yeah. Alright. So, the acting, not gonna lie, didn't see anything spectacular in the acting. The girl was bad.
Well, she was supposed to be robotic.
She had human feelings, sometimes.
Yeah, of rage and hatred and vengeance, and she didn't seem all that rageful or hateful or vengeful.
Just occasionally she would like bark out things at...
Shut up, fool.
Shut up, you. Just like... Yeah, everyone else was like... The only genuine moment that I thought was actually good was when they defeated Mechagodzilla and like it kept cutting to different groups of people cheering. Which I thought was cool. It was nice to see the humans actually do something.
Yeah.
But... Yeah.
I mean, the old man was really good. He had a really good shocked face. You know when they cut him in the car.
Yeah, no, he was just having the time of his life, and vanishing using super speed.
I don't know. I'd say it's probably like a 5.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, the dub was serviceable.
Yeah.
I don't like. My honest problem is that it wasn't just a dub. It was
a whole rewrite.
I mean, it wasn't even a rewrite because it clearly followed the plot for the most part. The problem was the fucking 10-minute intro.
Well, you know,
as if we needed to know who Godzilla was.
When you get to part 15, you might have some new viewers.
I guess.
Who have never heard of this thing.
I mean, babies might have been born and turned into full-fledged adults in the time since the original.
Well, yeah.
It's been 21 years.
Yeah, 54 to 70 something or
75.
Other. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
Godzilla was new to Hollywood at the time.
Yeah, sure.
I can't really say it deserves any like bonus points for because they seem normal.
Yeah, it was a serviceable dub. Some of the lip syncing was like bad, but
wait, what about that line where we will win when we win.
When we win, we'll win. Yeah, no, just like the language part of his brain just died for a moment. It was fucking great.
We gotta bring up the part where what's her face had a similar name to Godzilla.
Oh yeah, like Kazuya, but it came out as like Godzilla will control Mechagodzilla, and so we're like, Godzilla will control Mechagodzilla? What are you doing?
I don't know. Those 2 parts were great.
They were good. I mean,
maybe a bonus point for that.
One?
Yeah, just one.
Yeah, one. Because that was really dumb. Special mention. I mean, fuck.
The Adventures of KFC.
Dude, KFC. The KFC takeover.
Colonel Sanders, the second coming of Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. No, Call it the Colonel's Revenge.
Terror of Colonel.
I call it the Colonel's Revenge, Terror of KFC. How many points is that worth? I mean, that was easily the most consistent joke that... I mean, I'll be honest, it was based on nothing.
Yeah, well, it was based on the fact that the dude looked like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, and fucking Mechagodzilla is a dumpy robot. So you could easily just fit the buckets on him.
Yeah, and then Titanosaurus was essentially a big bird.
Oh, dude, he was just a featherless chicken. And he cackled like a bird.
Yeah, he was making all the bird noises.
He was incredible.
So everything's just starting to line up.
Oh, damn.
I'd say just based on how hard we went with it, it's probably worth the full 5.
You know what?
Because we went hog with it.
Oh, dude, it was nonstop. Once we latched onto it,
that's what the movie became.
It was better than everything that was going on, and I think we lost parts of the movie to making jokes about it. So yeah, we'll give it a 5. So we're looking at 10, 24, 30.
Was it like the third highest now? Because fun fact, this is the one that grossed the least from the box office.
Of course it did. It's what should have ended. I mean, it has to be the thing that ended the Showa era. Like, it had to be bad, which sucks because it wasn't that bad of a movie. But
I mean, it was certainly better than Son of Godzilla.
Yeah, just about everything was. Son of fuck Manila. Yeah, Astro Monster got 31, so yes, it is our number 3. Because we found a joke worth...
because we rewrote the movie to our liking.
God, we need to put... The thumbnail has to be putting KFC buckets on him, if you can do it.
I'll see what I can do.
Alright. Anyway, thanks for watching this. After this will be a wrap-up of the Showa era, and then we have a special treat for you before we hit the Heisei.
Oh no. Oh no, it's 9 hours.
We're not going to watch all of it.
Oh, we're going to watch all of it.
No, we're not. No one will. That's terrible.
We'll do it in parts.
Fuck that shit. I'm not.
It's just 3 parts.
I'm not watching the entire series with you. Even I'm not that insane. You guys have fun with that if you can figure out what we're gonna be watching, because we're going in chronological order. It'll be fun.
It won't.
No, but
see you guys later.
See ya.